what we're going to go through on this input is how you can use content you've already created or content you can create, right? If you've got content already out there and you're creating it consistently, then you can use this content to be able to drive more interactions, more conversations, more followers as well. So we're going to do this by using Ads Manager, and we're going to create a campaign on there to drive profile views towards your profile, and also to encourage either someone to comment on that piece of content or to send you a message, so to take the conversation into the DMs. Now, the important part here is the content, right? It's always going to come from that. So the content itself has to be something that is going to be sort of packed with value for your audience. And when someone says, like, you just need to give value, that doesn't really mean much. But so a piece of content that's really in line with the audience you serve, solving problems, maybe giving actionable help and advice right there and then, really, really jam-packed with that, and also has an action off the back of it to then get them to take the next step, which could be to comment on that post for a free resource that goes with it, or to send you a message, like I say, to then access the free resource as well. So it needs to have all of those elements in the piece of content for it to work really well. So that's the first and foremost important part. And then what we want to do is use that piece of content to then get it in front of more people. So we can. The cool thing is you don't have to have a big following to do this. You can do it with a small following. If you already have your ideal client in your following, even better, because then what we can do is target those people specifically, and we can actually then create audiences of potential lookalikes of those as well. So we can actually find more people, bring them to your accounts. So the whole point of this is you would set up these campaigns that could run in the background, really, really low budget, that could just consistently drive in conversations and consistently drive audience, like your ideal client audience, to your platform on a regular basis. This doesn't mean that you can stop creating content altogether, because organic content goes hand in hand with any kind of paid content that you're making. So to be able to still have that the platform work well for you, you still need to create organic content. You still need to be showing up, doing all those things you know you should be doing. But then by taking those pieces of content that are, like I say, jam-packed with the perfect things for your audience, and actually putting them in front of more people, like the dream clients you want, is sensible. You're using the tools available to be able to get that out there, right? So for me, it makes sense to kind of test both, right? So finding the piece of content first is key. So what we're going to use for this one, I'm going to use this one because on here we've got the piece of content itself, which has like information that's really specific to the audience I want, and it's calling out a few things that potentially they might see anyway. And then this piece of content in here actually goes into it in a bit more detail. And then I've got the DM here, the call to action islands, and I'll send it straight over. Now, if we've had some people already comment on here, even better, because we're already then showing that this piece of content people are reacting to. So use that piece of content to then get it in front of more people, more same people like this. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to use this for the DM one, and then we'll use a different piece of content for the comment one below. So I think in terms of the comment one, I'm going to use this one. So again, talking about something, want more engagement from your content, this is something that, again, it speaks to the audience that I want. And then we've got this part here, which is going to then explain a little bit more about the piece of content itself. And then we've got DM me POV, and I'll send over a 10-minute walkthrough. So again, that's getting people to message, and I'll show you how we'll set this up separately. So the content is what we need first, and like I say, these are already posted, so I can just use them in Ads Manager when I go in. Now, in order to do this in Ads Manager, let's go into here. So we've got your Ads Manager on here. Obviously we're not going into setting up Ads Manager on this. We're just going into how we can use this to create more interaction, more conversations, more followers as well. So build an audience. So we're going to go and create a new campaign. Engagement's the one we want, right? So this is what we want to do for messages and engagement on posts. So we're going to click that and then continue on here. So we're going to go manual engagement campaign because we want to set this up ourselves. And then we'll just name it on here. Let's leave it as that for now. campaign budget on. I'm going to set this at £5 a day. When they says this, it's just getting you to spend more money, right? So I'm going to set that up. Get rid of this, we don't need it. Leave that off, go next. Then on here you've got conversion location, your messaging apps on here. So, this one here, say if we're going to use the post that we want people to comment on. So say if we use that one as the first example, I'm going to actually get people to do it on the ad. So you want people to watch the video, interact with your post or event. So we're going to click on ad for this one. We'll do messaging apps for when we want them to actually send us a DM. So go to on your ad like that. Engagement type one here, we want post engagement. That's what we're looking for. Maximize engagement with posts. So that's what we're trying to get out of this, right? These are all budgets and schedules you can do on here. Then when we get down to the audience side, so this has already got Advantage Plus set up on it. Now we don't want that. We want to switch to the original audiences because now we can have a bit more control over who sees this. We go to create new custom audience, and then this is where you can take your Instagram account. And we'll find the Instagram account here. And then we can go through, see everyone who's followed this account, engaged with this account, visited this account's profile, saved any posts. So what we're going to do initially is anyone who's engaged with this professional account. So that's one, if you haven't got a big following or you're trying to grow more, right? So pick that one because you want people who have engaged with any of your posts, like it says here, comments, saves, carousels, button taps. However, if you want to access people who are following the account, then use this one at the top. So that's going to be all of the followers on there. If you want all of your following to see this piece of content, then select this one. So for me, when you post a piece of content now, I don't know if it's like 5 to 10% of your following will ever see that piece of content. If you set up a campaign like this, it will get shown to all of that following. That's what we're looking for, right? So let's put this in here. IG follow, cool. Create that audience. So we've already set that one up, a custom audience in there. This button here, you want to leave that unchecked because we want just the following to see this, right? So that's what we're going to do. Then you can change this. If you want to change your age bracket, you can do. I'm going to probably leave that on. And then everything else, I'm going to leave because we're just using this to show it to the audience you've already got on there. The only thing I'm going to do on here is change the placements on here. So we want to edit the placements. We want to go to manual placements. And we don't really want, you can put it on Facebook if you want it on here, but I'm going to mainly stick this on Instagram. And then what we're looking for is, so we want it in the feeds, stories, probably don't want it in the search results, take that out. So we want it in feeds, stories, take that one out. And then Instagram stories, Facebook stories we can take off. Instagram Reels, Profile Reels, Facebook Reels, take off. Send feeds, don't want that. Instagram feed, Instagram profile, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. Don't want the Explore either, I'm going to take them off because I'm going to be really specific with where I want this to be seen. So then stories is in there, cool. If you use Facebook and that's more your place, then obviously keep them in there. But for now, you can get a little bit more specific with where this is going to go. So that's pretty much it. Then when you go through to the next page is where you can start building out the ad itself. So let's call this one, which one were we doing? This one was the message, right? Cool. Let's call it islands. Then you've got your pages all set up, so they're all good. Select post, so this is where you're going to go in here and then we're going to find the post on here. Instagram. That's going to then take all the copy from there, so it's already in it. It's going to upload onto there as well. And we'll wait for that to upload on the edits. Okay, that's going to upload, and then on here, the call to action, you want to take this off, because this one we're wanting people to comment, right? So people are going to comment on the post. That's what you want the action to do. That's what it's set up for. Later on, I'll show you how we're going to set the next one up for the DMs, right? So then we've got an option. We'll use that here to set up. But that's it. That's your how easy it is to set that initial one up. And then, like I say, the second one we'll set up now, and I'll show you how we can tweak that for DMs as well that we're looking for. So what you can do is come into here, duplicate this. So that brings that up, and then on here I'm going to then change the post and find the other post, which was it was this one. Sometimes you won't get all the posts to load, so you have to go in here, filter by reels, and then it should do it for you. So that should change over soon. Fill out with engagement, that's the caption, DM me POV. So that's what we're looking for there. So they're going to send a message. So let's call this one POV. If you find that it's not uploading on there, what you can do sometimes is just press refresh. And then hopefully it should load. There you go. Very glitchy software, Ads Manager. So then you've got your caption all in there. Now this is the part where we're going to then start to want engagement. You want them to send a message, right? So you've got no button, get a quote, learn more. So we want to send a message on this. So that's what we're looking for here. Then we come down to this bit. This is the message on here, right? So we want to change this. We want to make our own version of this, right? So this is where we'll add, you can use Manychat for this. If you've got Manychat, you click Partner App here, and then you set it up in Manychat. However, you don't need to use Manychat, because you can actually just come in here and edit this, right? So, hey Dan, let's change this. Let's delete this. Oh. So you can personalize it. So you want that. You can personalize in here. First name, hey Dan, to get their POV workbook, comment, POV, no, POV, below. Cool. Then these questions here, we can delete these, right? So delete that, and then this one here, POV. And you see, that's what's going to come out. Hi Dan, to get a POV workbook, click POV below and I'll send it. They click that, and then you can then see this comes through into your chat. You can send everything back through to them, right? So really simple way. If you've got Manychat set up, which is it's a whole separate video, you could have your flow set up so then take the conversation and take them different ways, ask questions. But for now, let's just use this as a really easy way to have conversations happening, right? So save that. That's all done. The only thing we need to do here is we want to edit the placement again. It should be the same feed. Yes, same feeds and everything. Just make sure. That's it. That is how easy it is to set this up. So you've got this engagement set here, which is basically going out to your followers and people who already follow your account. You could go into more on that, and we could create some cold audiences if you want, but ideally you're wanting this to be with people who are obviously following the account on there. What we can do on here is actually go in and let's build out a different one on here. anyone who's visited the profile in the last, let's do 180 days. Because then people might have come onto the profile, so we're doing that as well, and keep everything, like I say, the same on there. Feeds are all good, and that way you can build out really low cost, effective, basically conversation starters and tools. So you've got one that's going to enable you to drive more engagement on a actual post itself, and one that's going to drive more conversations in the DMs, right? Both using content you've already created. What a better way to do it to drive more awareness of your page. So again, you could craft content around this. You could maybe even craft a piece of content that encourages people to follow the account as well, and then use that in one of these also. So for me, this isn't about getting out of creating content. It's about using your platforms and using the tools available to be able to maximize what's there for you. So be able to get it in front of more people, to be able to get more people seeing your content. And that way, you're still creating organic content, because that goes hand in hand with this, but still then be able to use the tools that are available to get this in front of more people, to have more conversations. And this all compounds, right? So if you had this running and you're starting to drive more interaction and conversations, that after 3, 4, 5 weeks equals like the compounding effect on those. You won't struggle for conversations. That's what I'm saying. So give it a try and let me know how you get on.